Sahana bhavatu Sahano bhunaktu Sahaviryam karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopanisadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavasthita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam na vidusura suraganaha Devaya tasmai namaha Devaya tasmai namaha. So in the last class, we were discussing how to practice surrender unto the Lord. So we were saying Shadvidha Sharanagatihi. So what are the six aspects of surrender? Number one, Anukulyasya Sankalpaha, doing everything that is favorable to God, performing actions which Bhagavan like. Second one, Pratikulyasya Varjanam, giving up, abandoning everything which Bhagavan doesn't like. Pratikulyasya Varjanam. Third one, Rikshishyati iti Vishwasaha, firm faith that Bhagavan will protect me. Rikshishyati iti Vishwasaha. Fourth one, Goptrutva Varanam, considering Bhagavan alone is a protector, taking all problems unto Bhagavan alone and getting solution from him alone, not depending upon the worldly support system, but depending only on God as the only support system. Even when the support comes from the world, we should be able to see the hidden hand of the Lord even in such situations. So this much we had seen last class. The fifth one is Atmanikshepaha. Atmanikshepaha means offering oneself unto the feet of the Lord. Offering oneself means what? Whatever Bhagavan does, we must always have this in mind that he is doing it for our good, for our welfare. So having a prasada buddhi attitude is called Atmanikshepa. Throwing oneself totally at the mercy of the Lord. Atmanikshepa. Saying, Bhagavan, whatever you do, I have no complaint. I will not grumble. I will accept unquestioningly all choiceless situations of life. So this attitude is called Atmanikshepa. Cheerful endurance of choiceless situations in life with the attitude of prasada buddhi. Bhagavan, this is your prasada. Whether good or bad, whether joy or sorrow, whether pleasure or pain, whatever the situation may be. Arthur Ashe, he was one of the very famous tennis players during 1970s, etc. He was world number 1. He was also a former Wimbledon champion. But somewhere in the early 1980s, he had some heart surgery. And during blood transfusion, he contracted AIDS, HIV virus. his health started deteriorating. Doctors could not do anything and he was dying because of this disease. So naturally somebody asked, "Sir, this disease should not have come to you. You led such a clean life. This was indeed unjust. Why did God do this to you?" This was the question asked. So it is said, Arthur Ashe had replied, "Look, dear, out of 50 million children all over the world, 50 million children enroll themselves to learn tennis. Out of that, 5 million children learn it. Out of that, 5,000 children, they are selected in Grand Slam. They qualify for Grand Slam. Out of that, 50, they qualify for Wimbledon. Out of that, 4, they reach semi-finals. Out of that, 2 reach the final. And when I was holding the cup, the trophy of Wimbledon, when I was holding it, I never asked God, 'Oh God, why me?' So when all goody things were happening to me, I never asked God, 'Why me?' So today when I am suffering from this disease, how can I ask God, 'Oh God, why me?' So when good things happen, I don't ask God, 'Why me?' But when bad things happen, immediately I say, 'God, why me?' Is this right? Meaning, whatever happens in life, good or bad, let us have that ability to accept it cheerfully. Thomas Alva Edison, I am sure all of us, we know, we have studied, considered to be the inventor of electric bulb, but he had invented so many things. Almost more than 1,000 patents are in his name. He had invented so many things. A very famous scientist the world has ever known. He had a very big laboratory. And one day the entire laboratory caught fire. It was burning in front of his eyes. He could not do anything. Everything was there in the laboratory. Whatever his manuscripts, so many research findings, everything was burnt. Precious equipments. And when the whole laboratory was in flames, he called his son and said, "Call your mother. Such a scene she will never be able to see in her life. The whole thing burning." The next day, it was all ash and he was just walking around. He said, "God, thank you very much. You have burnt all my mistakes. Now I can start afresh." This is what he is supposed to have said. Whatever happens in life, cheerful acceptance. This is Atmanikshepa. I have heard a very funny story. So there was this lady with 3 hairs, only 3 hairs. So she got up early in the morning. So she saw these 3 hairs and she said, "Yes, today I will braid my hair." She was very happy. Next day, she looked into the mirror early morning and she saw that there were only 2 hairs. 1 hair gone. Again she smiled. She said, "Okay, there are only 2 now. So I'll do one thing. I will part my hair through the middle." Next day she looks into the mirror and she finds that there is only 1 hair. Then she says, "Fine, today I will arrange my hair in ponytail." And thus she was happy. The next day she looks into the mirror and finds that there is no hair. Then she said, "Thank God, today I don't have to make my hair. No hairdressing necessary. The point is, whatever be the situation, let us have that attitude of cheerful acceptance. This is called as Atmanikshepa. The devotees say we must be like a dry leaf. Whichever way the wind blows, the leaf doesn't resist. It accepts the will of the wind. Or like the clouds which follow the ways of the wind, any direction. This total surrender brings in great peace. The moment we object to God's decision, the will of God, that very same moment the mind gets disturbed. The more we question and argue and complain, the more the mind is disturbed. But the moment we surrender, that very same moment, peace dawns upon us. Atmanikshepaha. And the last one, Karpanyaha. Karpanyaha means that state of egolessness, that attitude of meekness, feeling oneself to be meek and lowly, a feeling that I am totally helpless without God. I am a nobody. I am nothing. I know nothing. I have nothing. I can do nothing. This feeling about oneself is called Karpanya. Very many times people think it is something like inferiority complex. It is not inferiority complex. Inferiority complex is a negative trait. Whereas this Karpanya, it may appear like inferiority complex, but it is not so. It is a reality of life. We all are nothing. It's a fact. But then the difference is this devotee knows, by the grace of Lord, I can do anything. If Bhagavan's grace is there, I can do anything. But left to myself, I know I am nothing. So this feeling of insignificance about oneself, I am insignificant, O Lord. I am a nobody, O Lord. This feeling about oneself is called Karpanya. You can say it's a sense of egolessness, total humility, considering oneself to be worthless without God. Swami Shivanji Maharaj, he had established Divine Life Society, a very famous saint in Rishikesh. So whenever his birthday used to come, people used to celebrate garlanding and pada puja, etc., etc., etc. And people would come and speak a lot about their Guru, Swami Shivanji Maharaj. It is said, after everything is over, Shivanji Maharaj used to come to his room and go straight to his bathroom, and there one pair of slippers are kept. Old, worn out, torn slippers. And then it is said he would beat himself with these slippers, saying, "Oh my dear ego, you think you are really great because garlanding is done, pada puja is done. Now that you have got so much of that, now take a little of this also." And used to beat himself. Everything, whatever we have earned, gained, everything is because of God. Not allowing the ego to take credit for it. This is what humility does. Very clearly knowing that it is only because of Bhagavan that everything great has been done through this BMI. Not allowing the ego to take credit. Left to oneself, we are nobody. Just like our Hanumanji did. Bhagavan, I am only a monkey jumping from one branch to another. All whatever I have done, it's only because of your grace. So this is Karpanya. So these are the 6 ways in which we can practice Sharanagati. Right. Now we will go to the next topic, the last topic. When a devotee has totally surrendered, how does Bhagavan bless the devotee? What are the ways in which Bhagwan blesses his devotee. This is the topic today which we will discuss. Now in this world, all kinds of devotees are there with varieties of needs, at different levels of evolution. All kinds of devotees are there in this world. So what does Bhagwan do? He blesses according to the need of the devotee, according to the evolutionary status of the devotee. Devotees are classified differently. Some are Artha Bhaktas. They go to God because there are a lot of problems in his life. Sorrows are there, afflictions are there. So such devotees who go to God because there are problems, such devotees are called Artha Bhaktas. Then there are Artharthi Bhaktas. They go to God to get something. For example, name, fame, money, etc. Prosperity, material prosperity. So such devotees are called Artharthi. Then there is a third category. They are called as Jitnyasu Bhaktas. Who are these Jitnyasu Bhaktas? They are the Moksharthis, Mumukshus. They desire liberation. They want to know the truth. They want moksha. This is the third category. And the fourth one, Jnanis, those who have already attained moksha, liberation. So these are the four categories. Now Bhagwan cannot bless all of them in the same way. So according to the need of these devotees, Bhagwan bless them. Another category is Tamasic, Rajasic and Sattvic devotees. These devotees are also there in the society. So according to their need, according to their demand, according to their evolution, Bhagwan blesses them. There's a beautiful saying. It says, Bhagwan answers our prayers in 4 ways. What are the 4 ways in which Bhagwan answers our prayers? Number 1, yes. Whatever we ask, he gives us. Yes. Number 2, no. Whatever we ask, he doesn't give because he knows it is not good for us. Third one, wait. Whatever we ask, he says, wait. At the right time, I will give you. And the fourth one, take. Here is something better. Means what? What you are asking is something inferior. There is something superior. Take that superior thing. So these are the 4 ways in which Bhagwan blesses us. Bhagwan is like mother. How does the mother feed her children? If it's a newborn baby, Bhagwan will give the child only her milk because that's all the digestive capacity of the child is. If it's a little grown up, some soup like thing is given, liquid food is given, which is not difficult to digest. And fully grown up child, mother gives hard solid food. So just like mother will not give the same kind of food to all children, in the same way Bhagwan also, his blessings vary depending upon the evolutionary status of the devotee. And once the devotee has really evolved to the highest level, he has become really matured. He has gone from Artha Bhakti to Artharthi Bhakti and has become Jitnyasu. From Tamas to Rajas, from Rajas to Sattva, he has become a Sattvic devotee. Once Bhagwan knows that this devotee has reached the final lap of evolution, then what does he do? Then Bhagwan blesses them with knowledge, self-knowledge. Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. I bless them with buddhi yoga, knowledge, because Bhagwan knows all the sufferings of birth, death of the samsara, it is happening only because of the ignorance of the self. And the solution to this ignorance is only knowledge. So therefore Bhagwan blesses such devotees with buddhi yoga. And what is the result? Yena mam upayantite. They reach me, they become one with me. So this is the greatest blessing which Bhagavan can give. So once the devotee has become fit enough, Bhagavan makes all arrangements for this devotee to gain knowledge. This devotee gets more and more opportunity to attend satsang, because the knowledge is gained only through satsang. He gets a lot of opportunity to listen to the scriptures. He is associated with Mahatmas. Thus he gets a lot of opportunity to listen to satsang. Thus he starts gaining knowledge of the scriptures. Now what do the scriptures say in essence? The scriptures say, "O my dear devotee, the whole world runs based on the law of choice." The whole world runs based on the law of choice. And what is this law of choice? Whatever you choose, you get. This is the law of choice. Whatever you choose in life, you will get it. And in this world, there are so many worlds. You can choose any world. The world of music, the world of politics, the world of science, the world of medicine, the world of engineering, the world of arts, the world of dance, and negative world also. The underworld, the world of gangsters, all kinds of worlds are there in this world. You may choose and you will go to that world. You choose music, you go to the world of music and you become a musician. So what do the scriptures say? Oh my dear devotee, there is so much of variety available in this world. But remember one thing, there is another special thing which you can choose. And what is that? You can choose me also. This is something which is never known to a person who has never attended satsang. They may know, yes, I can choose physics or chemistry or maths or arts or dance, all these things fine, but you can choose God also. God also comes in this list. This an ordinary person never knows. It is only in satsang we come to know that such a choice is available. On one side is this world which you can choose, on the other side is God also which you can choose. God also comes under your choice. And what do the scriptures say? The scriptures say, in the scriptures, Bhagavan says, oh my dear devotee, don't choose the world, choose me. This is the message. This is the message of all scriptures. Don't choose the world, choose me. And what is the mistake we do? We only choose the world because we don't know that such a choice, choosing God, is available. So God says, choose me. Bhagavan, why should I choose you? You should choose me because if you choose the world, there is only suffering available. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam, that is the nature of the world. It is an abode of sorrow. Why sorrow? Because it is ashashvatam. Everything in this world is impermanent. If you hold on to something impermanent, sorrow will be the end result. Therefore Bhagavan says, Anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajaswamam. Whatever world you choose, the end result is sorrow. Devan devayajo yanti pitrun yanti pitrumvrataha bhutani yanti bhutejyaha madbhakta yanti mamapi yanti madhyajinopi mam. Bhagavan says, whoever chooses whatever, they go to their world, but those who choose me, they come to me. Bhagavan, why should I choose you? Yes, I should not choose the world, fine, I understand. There is sorrow, there is suffering, there is impermanence, I understand. But why should I choose you? Then Bhagavan says, oh dear devotee, oh Arjuna, Ahamatma Gurudakshina Sarvabhutashaya Sthitaha. Do you know who I am? I am the very self in you. Aham Atma, the very I, which you keep on using in every statement. Your every statement begins with I. Have you ever known what that I is? that I is none other than me. Ahamatma Gudakesha. Sarva Bhutas Ashayasthitaha. I am there in the heart of every being. In every being, I shine forth as their very aham in them, as the very I in them. Kshetrajnam chapimam vidhi sarvakshetreshu bharata. In all these body, mind, intellects. Who am I? I am the kshetrajna, the one who knows the kshetra. Body is the kshetra. The knower of the kshetra is called kshetrajna. Bhagavan says that is me. In that body, the knower of the body, the knower of the mind and intellect, it is me. So please understand, who am I? This is how Bhagavan introduces himself in Bhagavad Gita. This is me. So I am very, very near to you. I am the closest to you. In fact, I am the real you. The real self in you, it is me. Therefore, choose me. This knowledge regarding me is called the self-knowledge. So this self-knowledge is the highest. So therefore, choose this knowledge. Bhagavan, why is self-knowledge the highest? So in Bhagavad Gita, there are so many verses glorifying self-knowledge. Bhagavan says, Arjuna, it is this knowledge which will put an end to all your sufferings. Dukkha sanyoga viyoga yoga, Bhagavan says. This knowledge will disassociate yourself from all your associations with sorrow. That's the glory of self-knowledge. It will put an end to all your sorrows. Yasmin sthito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate. It is that knowledge, even when the greatest of tragedies come, even when the greatest of sorrows come, it cannot shake you. There is the glory of this knowledge. Jnanagni sarvakarmani bhasmasat kurute, Arjuna. The glory of this knowledge is all your karma, sanchita, agami, prarabdha, everything is burnt into ashes. Otherwise, these karmas are capable of giving infinite number of births. The glory of self-knowledge is, it puts an end to all of them. Sarvam jnanaplavenaiva vrajinam santarishyasi. Bhagavan says, even if you have committed an ocean of sins, even if you have committed so many sins, by the boat of knowledge, you can cross over all sins. You will be free from all sins. That's the glory of Yajñatva neha bhuyonyat jnatavyam avashishyate. Arjuna, once you gain this knowledge, in this world, there is nothing for you to know. Therefore, this knowledge is Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam, Pavitram, Uttamam, Pratyaksha Avagamam, Dharmyam, Susukham, Kartam, Avyayam. Bhagavan goes on praising this knowledge. The self-knowledge, it is Rajavidya. Vidyanam Raja is a king among all branches of knowledge. But at the same time, Rajaguhyam, it's a great secret, it's a royal secret. This royal knowledge is a royal secret. It is a sacred secret. Because very many people don't know about this. Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam. And it is Uttamam Pavitram. It is the greatest purifier. The glory of this knowledge is, it puts an end to the sinner in us, the ego in us. Pratyaksha Avagamam. Whatever this knowledge promises you, it is something which you can directly experience. Pratyaksha Avagamam. You don't have to remain always in faith. In the beginning, start with faith, but finally this becomes your experience. Then you don't need faith. You will say, I know it. Somebody asked Ramana Maharshi, do you believe in God? Ramana Maharshi said, no. That person was stunned. Maharshi said, I don't believe in God because I know that there is God. So when you know, you don't have to believe. So this knowledge is something which can be experienced. Pratyaksha avagamam, and it is dharmyam. You don't have to deviate from the path of righteousness to know it. No, it is dharmyam. Path of righteousness itself is the way. Satyena pantha vitato devayana. The goal is truth, and the path also is laid down in truth alone. Pratyakshavagavam dharmyam susukham kartum, and to practice this is very, very easy. Because it's your own self. You don't need anything external. The self is always with you. And it is the very nature of yours. Susukham kartum, very easy to practice. And what is end result? Avyayam, result is imperishable. Once you gain this self-knowledge, it will never leave you. This is the glory of Atma Vidya. Every other knowledge of anything is Aparavidya. This alone is called Paravidya, the supreme knowledge. Therefore, Bhagavan says, Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam, among all the branches of knowledge, I am Adhyatma Vidya, I am the knowledge of the self. So this way in Bhagavad Gita you will find varieties of verses, various verses glorifying self-knowledge. And what is the glory of the self? As I have said earlier, Bhagavan says that self is me. Aham Atma Gurudakshina. I am the self in all beings. This is the glory of the self. Gatir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivasa Sharanam Suhrta Prabhavav Pralayasthanam Nidhanam Bijam Avyayam. What is the glory of the self? This self is Gati, the very goal of all beings. Bharta, it is the very support of all beings. Prabhu, it is the Lord of all beings. Sakshi, it is a witness in all beings. Nivasaha, all beings reside in him. Sharanam, he is the ultimate refuge for all beings. Suhrata, he is the friend of all beings. Prabhavav Pralayasthanam, he is the Srishti Sthiti Laya Sthanam. We come from him, we remain in him, we go back to him. Not only we, but the whole world also. The world comes from him, the self remains in the self and goes back to the self. So it is a very substratum for the whole world. For Jiva and Jagat, self is the substratum. Prabhavav Pralayasthanam Nidhanam Bijam Avyayam. Bhagavan says, I am the very treasure. And I am the imperishable seed from which the whole game of samsara is going on. Mattaf parataram na anyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. Arjuna, there is nothing other than me. There is nothing higher than me. There is nothing other than me. This is the glory of self. Matsthani sarvabhutani, all beings reside in me. So this is the glory of the self. So in this way, when the devotee listens to the knowledge of the scriptures, he comes to know what? God can be chosen, and this is the greatness of God. He is the very self in me. He is the very support of the whole world, and he can be attained. You can merge in him, you can experience him. Now this devotee is fully charged. Now somebody has given the right direction to him. Till then, what is our condition? Totally lost. We think study in the university, getting married, getting a job, children, grandchildren, this is all life is all about. But when we attend satsang and when we gain the knowledge of the scriptures, we come to know, there is a great goal to be achieved in this human life. It is not to be wasted in useless things. So then what happens to such a devotee? Such a devotee becomes single pointed in his sadhana. Clarity has come as to what should be gained. Mahatmanastu mam partha devim prakritim ashritaah bhajanti ananya manasaha jnatva bhutadim avyayam. Such a person becomes a Mahatma. How does he become a Mahatma? Now he is a Mahatma because he comes to know this, that his Atma is Mahan, great, infinite. Till then he never knew this. Normally we are all Anatmas and Duratmas. Who is an Anatma? The one who doesn't know that there is something called Atma, the infinite self. That is Anatma. So when we don't know it, it is equivalent to saying we don't have it. If suppose there is a great treasure hidden under my house and I don't know it. Very many times such things happen. Recently I have read one report. There was a beggar who was begging and finally he died. And when they dug up that place, it is said they found a box full of treasures. This beggar was sitting on box full of treasure. He never knew it. And he died begging, he died a beggar. This is the same story with all of us. The greatness of this self we don't know. So we die not knowing the greatness of this self. But now this person, after attending satsangs, he has known the greatness. Shravana has happened. And he is busy doing manana and nididhyasana. Then such a person becomes a Mahatma. Mahatma. The one who has known the glory of Atma is called Mahatma. It is not that only his Atma is Mahan and all the other Atmas are not Mahan. It's not like that. He knows it, therefore he becomes a Mahatma. We don't know it, therefore we become Anatma or Duratma. Who is a Duratma? Duratma is a person who uses the powers of Atma in the wrong direction. All the evil people in the society, they are called as Duratma. So this person, Mahatma, Mahatmanastu mam partha devim prakritim ashritaha. Now this person, this sadhaka comes to know that there is such a great goal in life which is attainable and it is worth attaining. So what does he do? He starts putting forth effort in trying to gain this goal. And what is the way? Devim prakritim ashritaha. Taking resort to Devi Prakriti, meaning cultivating all noble virtues of life. Because he comes to know that this knowledge can be gained only if the mind is pure. And the mind can be pure only if all the noble virtues are cultivated. So he puts forth effort in cultivating virtues, the noble values of life, so as to purify his mind. Devim prakritim ashritaha bhajanti ananya manasaha. With a single pointed mind, he worships the Lord. Because now he has understood who this Lord is. And what is the glory of realizing him? What is the benefit of realizing? He comes to know that if there is one way to put an end to all my sorrows, if there is one way, there is only one way. And that way is to realize oneself, to know oneself. Bhajanti ananya manasaha, with single pointed dedication. He worships, he practices his sadhana. Jnatva bhutadim avyayam, knowing the glory of Bhagavan. He is bhutadim avyayam. That Bhagavan, who is beginningless, who is birthless, who is immortal, who is imperishable, and who is the very self in me. So when I realize him, I become free from this birth-death cycle. I become free from all limitations, all suffering. That's the glory. Therefore, with single pointed mind, pouring his heart and soul, with his entire being, he strives to gain that goal. If not this birth, next birth, no problem. The effort will continue. How does it matter? Because the law is yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tameveti konteya sada sadbhava bhavita. Law is this. Now he has understood the Lord, so whatever you sincerely seek from the depth of your heart, you will definitely achieve it. And even if you have not achieved it in this birth, at the time of death, definitely the thought will be in that direction. So the next birth, you will be born in a favorable situation where you can achieve this. So how does it matter? Even if I become a yoga bhrashta in this birth, doesn't matter. The journey will continue, and whatever I have gained, it will never be a waste. Nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tata gacchati prapya punyakritam loke ushitva shashvati samaha शुचीनाम श्रीमताम गेहे योग भ्रष्टो विजायते अथवा योगिनामेव कुले भवति धीमताम. So Bhagavan himself has said, don't worry, keep on putting forth effort. Even if you are not able to realize the self in this birth, doesn't matter, all the samskaras will remain with you. In the next birth, you will be born with this higher advantage. Whatever you have earned in the past will remain with you, and you will continue the journey from where you have left. So nothing goes as a waste. Nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim. You are born in a very prosperous family, a cultured family, and in such an environment, at a very young age itself, you get this knowledge, and then you continue your journey. So therefore, nothing is lost. So this devotee knows all these things, and therefore he puts forth effort with single pointed dedication. And then what happens to such a devotee? Naturally, Bhagavan's grace descends upon him. So here is a person who has chosen the Lord. So naturally, as per the law, Bhagavan has to give himself to him. And what does Bhagavan do? Teshamevanukampartham aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayami atma bhavastaha jnana deepena bhasvata. So Bhagavan's compassion descends upon him. So what does Bhagavan do? He is there right in the heart. He knows everything. Bhagavan says, I, remaining in the heart of the devotee, light the lamp of knowledge. The brilliant lamp of knowledge I light, and thus destroy the darkness of ignorance. This is what Bhagavan does. This is his grace, this is his blessing. So what happens when a lamp is lit in a dark room? The moment the lamp is lit, everything in the room becomes clear, isn't it? In the same way, what happens when the lamp is lit in the heart? So you come to know actually who is in the heart. So in the darkness, I thought in my heart the ego is residing, but in the light I come to know, this ego is a mere illusion, it's a mere shadow. What actually exists is not the individual self, what actually exists is the Supreme Self. Individual self is only a shadow of Supreme Self. It's an illusory thing. But in ignorance, I thought that is the real one. But when this lamp is lit, I come to know the original one, the real one. Ahaminasha bhaji aham taya sfurati hrit swayam paramapurna sat. When that ego is destroyed, in that light, no shadow can remain. All the illusory things disappear. The real thing alone presents itself in the presence of light. And then you see it is Supreme Self which is residing in the heart. It is the pure aham, not aham vritti. It is Paramatma, not the Jivatma. It is the real I, not the egoistic I. It is the Supreme Self, not the individual self. So he comes to know that this ego has no existence at all. It's an illusory thing. It doesn't exist. What exists is Supreme Self, the Supreme Lord, as the very aham in me. This experience he gains. So he comes to know aham brahma asmi. Na jivosmi aham brahmasmi. I am not jiva, but I am Brahman. This experience he gains when that lamp is lit. In the light of knowledge, he directly gains this experience. Aham Brahmasmi experience. That Bhagavan and me, we are not two different things. We are one and the same. In fact, I don't exist. The individual has no existence. What exists is only Bhagavan. That's why Bhagavan says, Jnani tu atmaiva me matam. There is no difference. A Jnani is none other than me only. We both are one and the same. There is no difference. This is the ultimate achievement. Bhidyate hridaya grantihi chidyante sarva samshayaha kshiyante chasya karmani yasmin drishte paravari. Bhidyate hridaya grantihi, the heart knot is cut as under, Upanishad says. What is this heart knot? Ignorance about oneself, that itself is that knot. It is cut. Vidyate hridaya grantihi chidyante sarva samshayaha, all doubts also gone. So before I had doubt about Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, who am I, where I have come from, where will I go, etc., 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 etc. Everything is gone the moment I come to know myself. I come to know there is nothing called Jagat, there is nothing called Jiva, there is only Ishvara. And that Ishvara also, the name is because it is connected with the world. Really speaking, I am the pure consciousness, Satchit Ananda Swarupa. Shivoham, Shivoham, Chidananda. So such a person becomes a Jivan Mukta. So Bhagavan says, a person who surrenders unto me and worship me, Tesham aham samudharta mrityu samsara sagara bhavami nachirat partha mai aveshita chetasam. So those devotees who fix their mind unto me, Tesham aham samudharta bhavami mrityu samsara sagara. I uplift them from this ocean of mrityu, from the samsara sagara. The moment I come to know myself as the Supreme Self, I have been lifted from this ocean of change, ocean of death. Devi hesha gunamai mama maya duratteya, but mameva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. Bhagavan says, anyone who chooses anything other than me, he will never be able to cross over this Maya. He will be continuing his stay in Maya. But those devotees who surrender unto me, what happens to them? Maya metam taranti. They cross over this Maya. This is what happens to this person. He gains his highest knowledge. He crosses over Maya. He is uplifted from this samsara sagara. And such a person becomes a Jivan Mukta. Even while living, he is liberated. What happens at the time of death when he drops the physical body? Anything happens? Bhagavan says nothing happens. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yaf prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshaya. The whole life he has been fixing his mind upon me. So at the time of death, where will his mind be? His mind will naturally, effortlessly, spontaneously, it will be in me. So mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. So remembering me, fixing his mind in me, he leaves the body. Yaf prayati sa mad bhavam yati. So naturally he will come to me. Nasti atra samshaya. So while living also he was in me. At the time of death also he fixed his mind upon me. So after death also he will remain in me. While living also his experience was, I am consciousness, I am Brahman. After death also, his experience continues. I remain to be Brahman. So as far as the death of the physical body is concerned, it is of no much importance to him at all. Prarabdha karma is over, physical body is dropped, that's all. As far as his experience is concerned, there is no change. The experience of Satchid Ananda continues even after the drop of the physical body. But just for differentiating sake, we say while living the body he is Jivan Mukta, and after giving up the body we call him Videha Mukta. Just for differentiating the two states. As far as he is concerned, there is no change at all. In Viveka Chudamani, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, just like how a cow, when the garland put around the neck of the cow, when the garland falls, will it make any difference to the cow? No difference at all. It just walks. In the same way, a Mahatma drops his body. It is such an insignificant thing for him, dropping the body, because he had never identified with the body. Then how does it matter whether body is there or not? So this is the greatest blessing Bhagavan gives to the one who surrenders. So therefore, where should we start from? We should start from surrender. So what is the essential message of Bhagavad Gita? What is the sadhana to be done? So we find the essential message of Bhagavad Gita is surrender, the most auspicious thing. Tameva sharanam gacha sarva bhavena bharata tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapsyasi shashvatam. Bhagavan says, Tameva sharanam gacha, you surrender unto him alone, sarva bhavena, with your entire being. Love him, respect him, revere him, value him. And may the effort be single pointed. Then what happens? Tat prasadat, by his grace, by his blessings, what will happen? Param shantim prapsyasi. You will attain supreme peace and Shashvatam Sthanam, the eternal abode. So start with surrender. That is why in these 7 days we have been discussing only surrender, surrender, surrender. What are the topics we have discussed? Topic number 1, why Sharanagati is the most auspicious thing. Topic number 2, how Bhagavan makes his devotee surrender. Topic number 3, what happens to those who don't surrender because they don't have faith in God? What happens to them? Topic number 4, what are the 6 aspects which you have to keep in mind while surrendering? How to practice surrender? Topic number 5, how Bhagavan blesses his devotees who have surrendered. So all the topics are revolving around one topic, that is surrender. This is one thing which we have to do. There is something which we have to do and there is something which God has to do. Like for example, sleep. If you want to get sleep, what you have to do? You have to work hard, get tired and finally lie down. This much you have to do. Sleep is something which it's not in your control. But if this much you do, then the sleep will automatically come and embrace you. Sleep is something which Bhagavan has to give. In the same way, there is something which we have to do. What is that we have to do? Cultivating the attitude of surrender. This we have to do. Attitude of Sharanagati, it is in our hands. And what does Bhagavan do? Blessing of Sadgati, he does. Attitude of Soham, attitude of Dasoham, we have to do. Blessing of Soham, Bhagavan gives. So there is something which we have to do and there is something which he does. So let us do our part. And what is our part? Sharanagati is our part. on this auspicious occasion of celebration of Samadhi Day of Puja Gurudev. Let us sincerely express our gratitude to Puja Gurudev, who has given this knowledge of the scriptures to us, who has shown us the right direction, and who has also given us this wonderful platform, wonderful environment where constant study of the scriptures happen, constant Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana happens. Bhagavan himself has glorified this knowledge, and see how lucky, how fortunate we are that we have such a platform where constantly this study, reflection, etc. happens. So indeed, we are deeply grateful to Gurudev for giving us this wonderful environment. I sincerely invoke the grace of the Lord and blessings of Puja Gurudev. May we all be serious in this path and attain the ultimate goal in this birth itself. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet, Asato Ma Satgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे हे गोपी गोपबाला गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे हे गोपी गोपबाला गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे हे मुरली गान लोला गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे हे मुरली गान लोला गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे हे राधा रमण लोला गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे हे राधा रमण लोला गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे हे नंद गोप बाला गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे हे नंद गोप बाला हे गोपी गोप बाला हे